Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture I am going to talk about early American national period and features that were prevalent in the works written during this time, and also in the later part of this video I am going to discuss about some writers as well as their works who used to write during this time. This early American national period is also called as Federalist Age because during this time these Federalists dominated American government from 1789. Who are these Federalists? Federalists are those people who supported the Constitution, and also they are strong supporters of National Republic. In the year 1828, a person whose name is Andrew Jackson, he won the presidential election, and this particular event in America is called as Second Revolution because this person tried to bring a kind of revolution in America. After winning presidential election, he implemented some brutal policies which affected in some way native white Americans, and also he was a proponent of frontier individualism, in which he emphasized that a person should attain independence and also he should become self-reliant in his life. And also he was called as the champion of common people because he fought for their rights. During this time, Americans started writing in so many different kinds of genres because by writing in so many genres, they are able to express their suppressed desires by choosing different kind of medium for their writing in order to express their views. And literature which was produced during this time was independent in the sense that it was free from any kind of European influence. Earlier works which were written were full of European influence, but now this time in this national period when people began to write, they started writing literature which is independent from any kind of foreign influence. And also there is production of imaginative literature during this time because people during this time they realized that it was became necessary for them to express their feelings in their own style. So Americans developed their own style in which they are expressing their desires by using their imagination, their own imagination, thoughts as well as feelings. Earlier these American writers tend to imitate famous European writers, but now this time they develop a kind of literature which is independent from any kind of European influence or any other influence. And also at the same time there is flourishing of sentimental as well as gothic novel. So we begin to see works that were written during this time. There is presence of sentimental as well as gothic elements, and there is example of a work which was considered to be as first American comedy, and which is titled as The Contrast by Royal Tyler. So this work was produced during national period happened in America. The North American Review is considered to be as first American magazine. Then first major American novelist that was prevalent during this time was James Fenimore Cooper, who used to write works about frontier life. Frontier life means that he talks majorly about individualism, in which a person should try to attain independence, and also he is emphasizing by talking about frontier life that a person should become in his life self-reliant. Here I am talking about early national American writers. First, I am going to talk about Washington Irving. He was known as the father of American short stories, and he used to write some of his major works under the using the pseudonym of Geoffrey Crayon. It was he who, by writing numerous works, recreated America's past history by giving it breathing, imaginative life. Now here I am discussing some of his important works. First one is the Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, published in the year 1819. In this work, this work contains majorly two important humorous short stories published by him. First one is Rip Van Winkle. This work gradually accepted as an authentic American legend by generations of Americans. Then another short story is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it was he who wrote biography of George Washington. I am going to discuss about another writer whose name is James Fenimore Cooper. He was considered to be a first major American novelist who used to depict African American as well as Native American characters in his works, and he started his writing career by publishing a work called Precautions which appeared in the year 1820. This work was published anonymously, and in this work, he talks about adventure stories which are mostly inspired by his childhood in the frontier. And also he founded the bread and cheese club. He was criticized by many writers including Mark Twain. He was criticized in a way that he was being too much reactionary, romantic, and also pedagogical in tone. Mark Twain attacked his romanticism in the essay called Fenimore Cooper's Literary Offenses, published in the year 1895. It was Mark Twain who made fun of Cooper and his works, and during his lifetime, James Fenimore Cooper created two genres, and those genres are, first of all, he created a genre called sea romance, and another genre is called frontier adventure, in which he talks about his romantic life, which is surrounded with nature only. James Fenimore Cooper inaugurated a genre called spy fiction by publishing a work called The Spy. And there was a interesting fact related to him, and that fact is that one day Cooper was reading a popular novel out loud to his wife. When he became angry at what he saw as its bad storytelling, he tossed the book aside and said to her that I could write you a better novel. After saying this, he started writing and publishing too many great works. Here are list of some of his works, and I am discussing them one by one. First one is Precautions. It is by publishing this work he started his writing career. So this work is subtitled as Semicolon, a novel which was published in the year 1820. In this novel he talks about morals as well as mannerisms, and also he shares his opinions about from whom he got so much inspired to write about morality as well as mannerisms. So he was very much influenced from Jane Austen, whose novels he considered were real accounts of protocols as well as presenting real kind of behavior as well as code of conduct. So this novel is more about morality as well as mannerisms. He talks in this novel about how one should behave. Then another major work published by him is The Spy, which is subtitled as Semicolon, A Tale of Neutral Ground, published in the year 1821. This novel is based on a character, Harvey Birch, who was a man suspected of being a spy for Britishers. Then another one is The Red Rover, published in the year 1827. Next one is The Water Witch or The Skimmer of the Seas, published in the year 1830. Then the Bravo, which was published in the year 1831. In this this work was inspired by Cooper's trip to Europe. In this work, he condemns the corruption and tyranny of Europe. Then the American Democrat or hints on the social and civic relations of the US. This is a kind of political treatise, means a political document. These are list of some another major novels published by James Fenimore Cooper, and which are titled as, first of all, The Sea Lions, published in the year 1849. Another one is The Leather Stocking Tales. These are a kind of series of 5 novels which are set in 18th century. Each series features a particular character whose name is Nettie Bumpu, and these 5 series spans over the year between 1827 to 1841. And this character Neti Bampu in each series known by different names, and those names are, he is known by European settlers as, this person Neti Bampu is known by European settlers as Leather Stocking, the Pathfinder, and also the Trapper. And also this person, the same person Neti Bampu, by Native Americans is called, they call them this person as Deer Slayer, the Loonge Carabine, and also Hawk. These leather stocking tales, I am discussing them one by one. So I have told you that these are a kind of series of 5 novels which are set in 18th century, and each series features the main hero whose name is Neti Bampu. Neti Bampu in these novels is a kind of representative of European American settlers, and Neti Bampu is a romantic hero. He is a child of white parents. He was raised by Delaware tribe. He was later educated by Christians. He is brave, skillful, larger than life, and represents a model for idealistic American folk hero. Now I am discussing these tales one by one. First of all, this tale 1 is titled as The Deer Slayer, or the First War Path, which was published in the year 1841, and this particular novel spans between the years 1740 to 1749 45. This was set in Otsego Lake, situated in New York. So there is nothing much in this tale, but this second tale is much important. Now I am discussing Stocking Tale 2. In this tale, he introduced Neti Bampu as Deer Slayer, a young frontierman in early 18th century New York, which was titled as The Last of the Mohicans. This tale is very important, and this tale is subtitled as A Narrative of 1757, which was appeared in the year 1826, set in 1757. This was a kind of historical novel set during the French and Indian War. This war is called as the 7 Year War, when France and Great Britain battled for control of North America, and during this time, French allied with Native Americans. So, this novel is based on the historical events. It is set in the 18th century. It is followed by a group of Indians and English settlers during French and Indian War. This story explores complex and dangerous relationship between the European settlers and the American Indians, and this tale comprises of so many important themes of like civil war, uneven and destructing relationship between European colonizers and the colonized countries. In this particular tale only, this character Neti Bampu is described as a young British Army scout who is named as Hawk in this particular tale, and there are so many important characters. First one is there is presence of Chingachgook, and also his son is known as Uncas, and he is considered as last of the Mohicans. Uncas is attracted to a dark skinned lady whose name is Cora, and there is a person whose name is Magua who desires this lady Cora and makes her this Cora as a prisoner, and after many adventure he Magua kills Cora. So these are important facts related to leather stocking tale number 2, and in the last Magua and Uncas kill each other. Leather Stocking Tale number 3 is titled as The Pathfinder, the Inland Sea, which was published in the year 1840, set in 1750s. Inland Sea, which is presented in this tale, is titled as Lake Ontario. Then Stocking Tale number 4, which is titled as The Pioneer, The Sources of Susquehanna, which was published in the year 1823, set in the year 1793. Setting of this tale is in Templeton, which is modeled on Cooperstown. And Neti Bampu, this character which we are finding in a whole series of 5 novels, this character in this particular tale now turned elder. Now I am talking about Leather Stocking Tale number 5. In this novel, Cooper depicts Neti in the final year of his life, who is proving helpful to people in distress on the American frontier. And this tale is titled as The Prairie, a tale published in the year 1827, set in 1804. In this novel, we see that Neti is now turned as the trapper or the old man who is serving people in distress. Now with this particular video lecture ends over here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your UGC NET English Literature exams. Thank you.